Welcome back. So there's two things I want to talk about in this video. One, this major hack that's happened this afternoon. It seems to be contained, but nevertheless, I'm going to talk about it. It's important. And then two, talk about rate stuff and how that relates and why some people think it's not as good as it seems. First things first. So today, some kind of developer's account got hacked and this JavaScript virus got released onto the internet. Okay, and people saw this about 4 hours ago and looked at the code and said that it really tries to target wallets, specifically browser wallets, and what it does is change the address. Okay, so it'll change it, like if you're trying to send your crypto to someone else, it'll change the address so that it looks very similar, but it's different. So when you're sending it, it'll automatically send it to the hacker's wallet. So when this came out, it was very, very, very concerning. Everyone was very concerned. And basically, until people can assess, the best thing to do is just not to use your wallets, not to send anything. So I still think that's the case. If you don't need to transfer crypto, don't do it right now, okay? If you need to do it, you better double, triple, quadruple check your address in order to make sure that you're not sending it to a hacker's account. Now, the good thing is several browser-based wallets has come out, like MetaMask and Phantom, and they said they're not their wallet is not going to be susceptible to this kind of attack, and it's okay. And Arkham and others have been tracking this hacker's wallet. And as of a few hours ago, there was only like $100-something transferred. So the fear may be overblown. Okay, so and I haven't heard of any major losses, millions of dollars, whatever. It was just like $100 or something a few hours ago. I don't know if that's changed, but overall, all the wallet makers seem to be coming out and saying that don't worry about it. Best thing to do is still wait it out. Don't send any crypto if you don't need to, and then you'll be fine. Okay, for now, and just let things play out. All right, so that's the warning to you guys. Number one. Number two is, let's talk about rate cuts. Well, so today, the U.S. market was good. NASDAQ hit all-time high. Many indexes basically hit all-time high or have done so in the previous few weeks. And obviously, we had a pretty good recovery day for Bitcoin and crypto. Although Bitcoin is still kind of stuck right around this 112. It seems to be a major resistance now, slash support. Today it was mostly led by Sol. Others came up a little bit. Overall, it's a green day, so can't really complain. So it's a good thing. And several tech stock turned a little bit green. But overall, the market is still cautious. We're not seeing a major pump right now, right? And there's a couple reasons for it. Number one is there's a couple of big inflation readings I told you guys about that's coming. PPI on Wednesday and CPI on Thursday. So Wall Street is still concerned if those numbers are going to come in line with expectations or go higher or go lower. You know, it's unknown at this point, right? I think everyone thinks that the tariffs is going to slowly increase inflation. So the anticipated number for CPI is going up by 0.2%. But if we come in under, it'll be great. It's going to raise our chances of a 50 basis point cut. And even, I mean, analysts are saying, even if it comes in over, let's say we go from 2.9 to 3, still anticipated that we're going to get a rate cut this month, next week. So here's the thing, though. There are some analysts that are now saying that they think the prices have already been baked in, right? Meaning that Wall Street and others already think that we are going to get a rate cut regardless, so that's why the markets are rallying. And there may be a sell-off event come the FOMC meeting and the rate cut is announced, right? I'm not so sure. Sometimes it does work out that way. A lot of people think that, hey, if everyone thinks one thing, it's probably the other, right? And a lot of people think that after a rate cut, we will probably see a rise with equities and crypto. And that has historically happened. Whenever we start monetary easing, we see the rate cuts start happening, everything starts going up, right? And I still believe that's the case. But can we get fooled next week with a surprise dump or something like that. Certainly. We have seen many of those instances. Market makers, whales, Wall Street do their thing. They may do like a quick dump or two, meaning a few days, and then we quickly recover. That I have no surprise of. I think what's really going to determine how good a pump will be, the next couple days. It's really going to set a tone because inflation somehow slows down a little bit. It's going to give Powell and the other Fed president and governors really ammunition to really cut, right? Green light the 50 basis point and so forth. If not, we're still going to go to the street, but still, I think it's really going to determine because we have no more big economic data. And then afterwards, we have just 1 month. October, we're going to have another FOMC meeting, and most likely we're going to get a rate cut too. So regardless if we get 50 basis point, we're going to get at least 2 more rate cuts. Unless the numbers come out really bad, like inflation is skyrocketing, and then they can only do 2 instead of 3. So can we get a fake out moment? Yeah, I could see that. Normally after FOMC meeting, you have like a day or 2 of red. It always is like that. So usually FOMC meetings start on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, that's when the press release happens. And then usually after that, the rest of the day is all red. And in most cases, the day afterwards, Thursday, turns red. And then Friday is usually when either midway through the day it starts turning green or the entire day turns green. That's usually how it works. So I guess we'll see. But overall, everything's holding quite well. I know we're not going up. We're not like shooting up because right now some of the macro conditions are holding us back. I showed a video this morning about Tom Lee saying that he still thinks Bitcoin's will go to 200,000, and he cites reasons because normally Bitcoin does the best in Q4, and also because of all the monetary easing, and we haven't had one like this where we had a pause and then a resume since I think he said last time was 1984 or something like that, and now it's been a long time. And if you track things like money supply, the M2 money supply, Bitcoin is still tracking it. And if you track other things like rate cuts, Bitcoin does particularly well. So there's really no reason to think that it's going to be any different this time around long term. Of course, again, short term we could have a couple of fake outs here or there. That's quite okay. That's pretty much it. Outside of these things, I know like this morning, I talked about AI, right? And the dangers of it and how we prepare. I think some of you guys may have been freaked out a little bit, thought it was a dark analysis, but it really isn't. So in case you didn't watch it, you should. That video that I linked and posted on X and also during live stream. It's a really interesting AI video from an AI expert and his analysis of the world and what's coming and stuff like that. For fun, I asked ChatGPT and basically asked it to predict, give a timeline of when 99% of the jobs will be replaced by AI. So it broke it down. It says within the next 10 years, leading up to 2035, we'll probably see anywhere from 30 to 50% of the jobs removed. And these are, of course, all the jobs that, people do on the computer, not physical jobs. And it believes that, the way we are progressing, and there's so many things that AI could do already, people are not. It takes a few years for things to catch up. But the way we're progressing, about 30 to 50% of jobs, known jobs right now, could be replaced. If you think about that, that is an enormous amount already. That's in the next 10 years. 30 to 50%. Even if you're on the way low side, 30%. Let's just say it's not even there. Let's just say it's 20%. Do you realize how big that is? Our unemployment rate right now in America is like 4.3%. Imagine if that was up to 20%. What is going to happen to society? Just think about that. That's within the next 10 years. And then it projects by 2050, which is 25 years, we will have anywhere from 70 to 80% of jobs replaced, because by then will have really good robotics, okay? And it feels like ChatGPT mentions that there'll probably still be jobs because people just want to do it, not really for monetary reasons, right? And of course, there will be jobs like left because people trust humans more. And it mentions like spiritual things and doctors and therapists and stuff like that, right? And then it says 2050 beyond, that's when, you know, that 70 to 80% becomes 90+%. It doesn't know if we'll ever get to 99%, but 90% sure after 2050. And if you think about it, 2050 is only 25 years from now, right? Hopefully I'm still around. Hopefully most of you guys are around. I think we will be. And, you know, imagine a society where you have 70% unemployed. Again, if we go on the low side, right? We go 70, we minus even 10, 20%. Let's just go 50% by 2050, okay? Which is 25 years. Imagine 50% of the population without jobs. How is society going to function, right? And what is people going to do? You know, money is still going to be around, right? And if you're, maybe in 25 years you guys won't be working, you'll be retired, that's fine. But what about your kids? And what about their kids? Again, how is society going to adapt? It's going to be way worse than a Great Depression. How is society going to adapt when 50+% of the population no longer has to work? It's hard to fathom. And that's 25 years, but let's focus on the next 10 years. What's going to happen again if 20%, up to 20 to 30% of the population no longer has jobs? That's within the next 10 years, replaced by AI. And I honestly think we could do it. Every year we get a new version of ChatGPT, right? We're at to 5 now. Next year we're going to get 6. Next year we're going to get 7 after that. And every version gets so much smarter. Today I had a really good chat with ChatGPT 5. And there's some amazing things that it could do already. It really could do so much. People just don't know how powerful it is or refuse to like try to learn. But if you do, if you're a business owner or a coder, anything, you could utilize it to better your job. So first of all, if you're not embracing it, you're going to be outdated really quickly. Versus your peers who are using it, they will run laps around you. But second of all, it goes to my point from this morning. I honestly feel like within the next 5 to 10 years, this is where you have to maximize your earnings. You got to do it. Because in 5 to 10 years, when people are starting to get laid off in masses, and you happen to be one of them because your job is now taken over or no longer needed, what are you going to do for income? Obviously, Social Security and and pensions and retirement funds, they're not going to be enough to cover if up to 30 to 50% of the people are without jobs, right? Insurance certainly not going to do it. So I really feel like within the next 5 to 10 years, you got to maximize your earnings. And if you make it, then great. If you have the money, I think you'll do just fine in this new world of AI. You'll be able to afford things and do things that others won't be able to. So, yeah, I really believe that. So how do you do that? You know, well, investing in Bitcoin and crypto is one way. It's the fastest wealth builder there is. I've always said that. There's nothing faster than investing in Bitcoin and crypto. But there's other ways too, right? Basically, you gotta dig down and hustle as much as possible to earn that coin, and then use it to invest and grow it and multiply over the next 5 to 10 years. Otherwise, it's gonna look very different. And if we develop like AGI, a super intelligence, way before 2050, then man, then it's gonna be even way worse. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully we could delay that as much as possible, or humans as a whole collective realize that making a super intelligence is actually really bad for us. We're bringing our own extinction. Maybe we should not do that and just focus on isolated AI that helps improve our lives. but not like a super intelligent being that's just going to run things and dominate and then eventually control humans. That's an interesting topic to think about. That's why I'm talking about. But anyways, going back to my point, 5 to 10 years, you got to maximize your earnings. Otherwise, it's going to be too late. It really is. All right, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Take care. Bye-bye.